Good evening, good people, and welcome to yet another installment of Final Fantasy Randomizer as part of Speed Gaming Live Online. Tonight we have a match between Budgemano and notyoungme. I am Saracen. I'm joined in the booth by DM Stewart. DM, how you doing, man?
Doing all right. Keeping busy.
So we have... I think this is a very, very interesting matchup that I am extremely vested in, as the winner of this match goes up against me. But we've got some interesting, very black belt centered flags. DM, you want to run us through those?
Yes, we've got clamped. We've got a mandatory black belt, a mandatory melee, and a mandatory mage, and a mandatory nun. We also have recruitable promoted mages. We have no other promotions available. There is no tail in this flag set. We've also got clamped boss health at 120 to 230, and we've got mostly the standard incentive locations. Although ice and marsh are random. We have vanilla ordeals, vanilla titans, which is the far left chest. We've got Corneria Locked, vanilla, which is the far right chest in the left room, and Vanilla Cardia Islands.
So we have seen some very, very speedy matches at times during the qualifiers and during the tournament proper. I think we have seen somebody hit the 35s. But I don't think we've gotten below that yet, that anybody's claimed. We shall see if that is something that happens tonight. With the flags as they are, there's kind of three phases. Phase 1, get your stuff. Phase 2, level your black belt. Phase 3, paunch! So, we shall see what's going on with these folks tonight. They are on a 10-minute delay. That delay is almost up. So we should see these runners get started in the next probably 20 or 30 seconds.
Punch Mage does in fact go pert.
Indeed. What'll be interesting to see in part is how these runners go about finding their grinds. We've seen a number of overworld grinds. We've seen some very obvious tiles. We've seen some very not obvious tiles.
One of the first things you always look for in a black belt flag is where is that first encounter off the hard reset?
Absolutely. And, even with somewhat lengthier walks, we've seen the T-Rex come up and provide the bounty of experience. That's, basically 2 fights worth of the eye, and that makes all the difference. Budgemano, we see, has taken off. Maybe there's a little bit of delay on notyoungme's side, but we see with this forced white mage, we have level 1 fade. We're not even checking the black magic on Budgemano's side. We're just going.
Yeah. Once you see level 1 fade, there's no need to even look. You're gonna be leaning hard on that. You're also, one thing I forgot to mention on the flags, you also get a AoE caster item.
That AoE caster item can be real good or real boring, and today it's pretty good. It's a black shirt for Ice 2. Level 1 nuke also present, by the way.
That's a nice find. If you find a recruitable red or black mage, or red or black wizard.
Alright, so it looks like we're just getting the runners synced up here. So that's why we have Budgemano frozen. We're going to be synced up in just a second, which means, honestly, they're neck and neck. There we go. Simultaneous fades, simultaneous kills. We're going.
Let's go. We get a bottle from the king and a rod from Sarah.
Not immediately useful incentive items. However, we have Bicky and we have an open walking path all the way to Marsh and Elfland. We'll see if there's anything in the shops, too.
I will somewhat disagree with that statement, because they are still plus 10% XP and gold.
Right, but, you know, that's not opening up a location to us right now,
Yes.
is what I mean by that.
Valid. It does not open up a location.
So, with the run length off the hard reset that we're seeing here, that's an unfortunate in some regards when it comes to the possibility of an overworld. That is a recruitable black wizard right there, which justifies that nuke pretty good.
That nuke's fine.
So notyoungme is going to be aware of that. Budgemano skipped out on looking at the black magic shop, but may still take the character. We'll see. I have a tendency to want 2 casters, and sometimes 3. You know, it all depends on where the magic's at. I would say 2 is fine in this flag set. You know, you can... Oh, notyoungme replacing the white mage entirely. Gonna just rely on the black mage in this seed. And that is a gamble.
I don't know that I like that play.
Alright, here's my thought process with what they've got. They have a thief. A thief is really, really, really hard to kill. And so there comes a time where I am very open to the idea of using the recruit to remove the thief. And that gets by all of the evasion concerns and all of that. So sometimes it's worth leaving a recruit for that purpose for later. Budgemano doesn't care about the gamble whatsoever.
Okay. Now I get what you're saying. For when you're about to start the grind.
But my other concern, and I think that this has shown itself a few times, lazy dwarves, is that sometimes you have an alternate final boss, as we have in these flags, that really lends itself to having multiple casters.
Yes.
And the adamant's turning into the slab. Big zonks. So we're gonna see Marsh and maybe an incentive out of ice, and those are pretty much our only options to move forward in this seed.
I think Marsh has to be Canoe, or Herb leading to Canoe, or leading to Canoe.
We could have a shop item in Elfland that gets us unstuck as well.
Valid.
We'll have to see if we're jumping right at that. Budgemano going straight to the white magic shop after reviving that white mage. That is hot garbage at level 3.
No. That's lukewarm garbage at level 3.
Fair.
Not even hot garbage.
Alright, notyoungme the first into Marsh, having not stopped at Elfland at all. We're going straight to the attic. With the random Marsh incentive, this is the shorter leg of the two, and, you know, if you find your incentive up here, you know, that's...
Gold minus 1 isn't a bad find.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
And using the correct pathing too.
I kind of expect that out of our runners here. And notyoungme immediately resets upon seeing no incentive. Budge looks to be walking it out unless there's a reason not to. Which, that was enough of a reason not to. Okay. I
never remember what incentive. Ooh, notyoungme gets an extra step, but I never remember what chest, that second floor chest. There's our incentive. It's the crown.
Alright, so we got some fancy headwear to turn in at Northwest Castle. That's, you know, close. We have Nuke, we have Fade.
Yeah, and Astos doesn't have the world's best magic resistance. notyoungme just going straight out, not going to check the wizard tile. Budgemano is headed to check the wizard tile.
For Frost Giants, I'm willing to forgive. I understand not wanting to check that tile because it's got an off step. It's really deep in a dungeon. And the monster variety here is super dangerous. You can have so many different things that roll scripts and spells.
Yeah, generally something in Marsh is going to roll nasty, and something in Ice is going to roll nasty.
Yep. Alright.
But if that happened to be the Eye, and that's going to be a canoe coming out of Astos.
If you didn't know, the most dangerous canoes are bull canoes. Now you'll never be able to read that word again. Alright, so with the canoe, we have access to Crescent Lake and Ice. It expands our field quite a bit.
Oh, and that was Cure 4 and Harm 3 at level 2.
Mm-hmm.
So, looks like keeping that White Mage is maybe the play.
If I were in the runner's shoes, I would have taken that Black Wizard in place of the Nun. So that I had two casters.
Yeah.
But, that's exactly the sort of information I'm scouting out of these two. So, we'll find out more as we go through the rest of the seed.
Yeah, I don't know if I would have... I don't know what... I probably would have taken the Black Wizard. But I don't know that I would have taken the Black Wizard out of... I don't know that I would have taken the Black Wizard in place of the Nun. At least not immediately. Cheap houses, 750.
Yeah, that's like 1978 housing market. Get on that bleeding edge of the real estate market, and let's get on out here. I did see that Black 4 had Warp and Lit 3. Lit 3, less important. You're mostly getting it so that it's not Warp in the first slot of your magic, and you don't accidentally menu to it.
And that's less of a consideration since we included confirm.
This is true.
There's some EXPs.
That is an excellent find as we're heading into Crescent Lake, where we're going to get our MP back anyway. That's getting us level 11 on the Black Belt and the Black Mage. notyoungme gonna pick up that Thief, though. I would have considered leaving it down. And we get the Herb out of the Crescent Lake Sages, which now we have the decision. Do you go back to the Herb, or do you go to Ice?
I go back.
I think that's the universal answer, but I'm dropping a save at this river junction if I'm them.
I go back because it's an extra 10%. Because that's an extra 10% XP, and if I find my grind in Ice, I want that extra 10%.
It's only the extra 10% if it's not the ribbon or the power gauntlet that are in the incentive pool. So that's the other consideration. But if we find a floater here,
it's a really good chance of being an extra. It's a really good chance of being an extra 10%.
Okay, so Herb turns into Crystal, which that seems like a reverse vanilla right there, and now it's the long walk to Matoya to probably go to Ice afterwards. Well, we see Budgemano making the walk.
But again, I want to turn in everything I can before I start my grind.
So the best news out of this is we have a slab, we have a bottle, we have done every other fetch quest in the Inner Sea. This can be like the key the ship. Oh, it's the floater. Okay, play 100% justified. I probably would have done it too, but 100% justified. It's not going to be a nagging concern for either of these runners. And with this, it's, you know, it's time to translate a slab, talk to Sarda, go head to Cardia after that, go do the bottle turn in Gaia, turn in Lefane for the slab, get all of those incentive items all at once, and then determine if you're going to go anywhere else.
And then I think you go into Earth and you check all of those tiles, and you get crystal 1 of the 3 required crystals.
I am of the mind that you have to like understand what your incentive position is after that. Like, we're going to be checking a lot of locations, but if we're in the position where we don't have the key, that's a very big concern at that point, because you're having to think: is it waterfall? Is it ice? Is it ordeals? Like, which of these 3 locations has that ended up in? And yeah. So we'll have to see what the outlay is. Both of our runners about to get in the air.
And Budgie's going over to catch Sarda. Oh yeah, because you want to do that first because you have the slab, so you can get Lefane right after Gaia.
Yep.
And that is a white mage, and that was a temper gauntlet.
So temper gauntlet, objectively better than the saber gauntlet in this flag set, because you want your black belt punching, you don't want them sabering, and so there's that. Now the downside is that is a zonk. Like, you know, we could be getting anything else. I would not be checking magic here. We know we're going to Lefane. Level 5 Temper and Quadex and Ice 3. And honestly, Temper is the only one I would consider out of that. But Quadex is nice from time to time.
Temper I would consider, but I have a Temper Gauntlet, so...
Yeah. So, M. Keystone asking about the canal being in the inner sea. It is not required to be in the inner sea, and I have seen it outside of the inner sea one time. So,
I actually don't mind this play out of budgemano checking the spike tiles here in Earth.
Both runners actually going to do that, which is, you know, amazing convergence. We see that first one, the Hall of Giants, is just garbage, and then Budge checked the extra tile, and it was also pretty bad.
Yeah, that's garbage tiles.
But now they're both walking in hand to check Cardia.
Yeah.
To get the loot.
That's a loot.
Hooray. Now, notyoungme slightly faster on the way out because of warp, because of choosing to go for the black mage.
I am mildly disappointed that I saw neither runner talk to Hooray Dwarf.
Nah, I'm cool with that. So the ruby is for sale for 30k. The ruby is possibly useful. Hey, look, there's that canal outside of the inner sea.
And there's that red wizard.
I really want that red wizard. I know that I have, at this point, Nuke at level 1. I have Cure 4 at level 2. Like, yeah. I only care about those levels, and I'm going to Lefane.
The only other spell that I'm missing that I wanna see is some kind of life.
We did see life that was picked up by budgemano. I think it was level 4.
And that's a cube.
No, what I don't know is if that life spell was in a white locked slot. I think it was slot 1, but I'm not 100% sure.
It is a cube from Lefane.
So that is half of a find, right? So we're in this awkward position. We've got ice, we've got ordeals, we've got waterfall, and we've got that ruby for sale to figure out what we're doing with the rest of our lives.
notyoungme takes the wrong parking spot and finds giants in the fire elementals spike tile.
Yeah, I don't think that the parking spot's going to terribly much matter. I suspect that if notyoungme is headed to check this, it's a reset and going to be right on top of the ship. And, you know, full struggle bus there, but it's okay.
That's fair.
What you doing, Budge? Looking for the item shop. Okay. It's house o'clock. All right, notyoungme going to dive Earth, which is going to allow checking the 3 remaining spike tiles. So there's the shared tile that's on the first floor. It's also available on the 3rd floor.
Which, if it's a good tile, that's where you want to fight it, is on the 3rd floor, because you get no off-step encounters.
I just saw something terrifying, though, in that 6-pack of cockatrices having lit 2.
Jerkbirds with lit 2.
Yeah, I don't like that any.
Well, I don't like that if I'm running. I like it if I'm commentating.
So Budge knows that 3rd tile in Earth is trash. So that leaves the 2 tiles on the armory floor. Both of those are available in the Earth Armory room. Left side, right side. That's the split. The 5 tiles of ice. It's a whole nother question, though. And really, I only like 2 of them. This is acceptable, but not great. Only finding out the bad news.
Good enough. See, I'd have just taken the zombie Ds.
I understand and respect
zombie
that.
D is good enough.
I would take this encounter that budgemano has in front of him right now. Just to get some pad levels. Because, when you got 4 or 5 whiz mummies, that's pretty decent.
budgemano is playing with fun enemy names, and I think was also playing with multi-instrumentalist Sarah.
Mm-hmm. Giants and iguanas on the armory tile 1, and fires on tile 2.
On the other one.
Rip.
Insert Price is Right fail horn here.
Indeed. All right, Budge about to check this. That's a ribbon without a fanfare. Yeah, which now we see things turning there. Okay, gargoyles, not what you want to see. There's only one.
There's a ship.
Lame.
That is 10% XP bonus.
That's true. So Budge getting a big womp here and choosing not to check the last spike tile. I understand. notyoungme about to head into the Lich replacement fight, as we have alternate fiends on tonight.
And Budge is going to check the two upper tiles here.
We get the Black Knight, and I feel like the Black Knight's super bad, but I don't do any dungeons until I'm already powered up. So I honestly don't know what it does.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the alternate fiends at all.
I feel like that one has nuke or something. There's something about it. But at the moment, it has stunned out the black belt and is continuing to survive with that 120 to 230% HP. Carrier's replacement has over 700 minimum, so.
And that's Frost Wolves on the. That is an Earth Orb lit for notyoungme. And that's Frost Wolves on the Agama tile.
That was the red D tile, or not the red D, the fire tile. No, the gray worm tile.
No.
The first tile in that room, the one on the right, shares with the Earth Armory tile, and then the Agama tile's on the left of that room. Notyoungme also doing the dive here.
So the Agama tile is that mummies. Is that mummy tile?
Mm-hmm.
Nightmares on the red D tile.
So we're getting to a real awkward point, and what I mean by that is we have to make the decision of, do we get the money to buy that ruby in Gaia and go chase that and hope that it turns into something good, or do we go after ordeals, or do we have to go to Onrak and possibly not get our Oxy Ale?
Yeah. And that's a not insignificant. That is a not insignificant time sink if you go to Onrak and if you go to Onrak Continent and not get that Oxy Ale.
Yeah. Thief goes down on budgemano's side. Notyoungme appears to be taking this pack, which I'm, again, all in favor of. Except for the part where it takes out the Black Wizard. That's a real problem. You cannot finish this dungeon without that Black Wizard.
And not with a black belt that's not leveled up.
Right. You kind of have to hope for a tile in here and be disappointed in a minute. Okay, Echidna is the actual carry replacement. I was thinking carry was the Black Knight, but nope, I was mistaken. You know what? Black Shirt Nightmare, not terrible, except for the part where it just took like 300 damage and didn't die. Hashtag concern. And yet, Notyoungme gonna go for it. Hashtag concerned. Not like, I understand the logic of this play. It 100% makes sense to me for what he was trying to do. Like, you know, it's the best of a bad situation. It's time to get out.
It's the either I'm gonna grind my black belt up to where I can kill this boss, or I'm gonna die.
And meanwhile, did budgemano take out Echidna there? Light that fire orb? I think so.
Yes.
Socket says yes, so I'm going to
briefly
believe.
Saw it on the pause screen.
Oh, he wiped? Okay. That, you know, very reasonable.
Orb on the pause screen, but I could be wrong. I've been wrong before.
Yeah, it's sometimes you get lost in thought while you're doing your comms, and I certainly do, at least. And it's very easy to just, you know, miss the action. Alright, Mud Goal tile is Gargoyles, so heck that. Is this a Pillar 4 maze? I think this is a Pillar 4 maze. Those zombie Ds suddenly looking a lot more appealing when they have that little hitch points. Like, you at that point know.
Pillar 4 maze.
Like, maybe level 21, level 25, somewhere in there, you're going to be able to just punch right through them.
Yeah. Yeah, and that really makes that look like an attractive tile. Like I say, you go for good enough.
Mm-hmm. Warp coming in clutch, sort of. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
No, Warp coming in very clutch.
The double all the way back is very unfortunate to see.
That's a seafood party platter in the Nightmare tile.
It sure is. I am glad to see that gone.
Yes.
Okay, so with the wipe in Volcano, budgemano loses a little bit of ground, not a ton. The big question, oh, there's the key.
There's the key.
That opens up 3 additional grind tiles. Very big find. Would also like to shout out our mistress of radioactive spiders for rolling this seed, Danny3883, our seed roller tonight. We have not seen any radioactive spiders, but we know they're out there in your nightmares.
I was gonna say, wait, no, this is far too nice so far to be a Danny seed.
Now, what I have said many times is Danny seeds are either extremely rough in the early game or they are the long con. And so, we shall see where that lands. Now, level 1 nuke and level 1 fade, that tells me that this is probably the long con. So if we end up seeing something, for example, like a fun dead pack that's on the top end of its HP at the end, you know that Danny's seed rolling magic has continued to live on.
Or if we see something like ambushing 9 packs of that's an Oxyale.
It is, which is go mode for Not Young Me.
Yeah, Not Young Me has found grind and go mode.
So we're going to check our Toflock tile, which can be difficult to set up. It's waters, we don't like that. It's not the Gurnago water pack, which is one of the highest XP tiles out there. When you've got 1 to 2 waters, it's just something that punches you hard and is weak to ice. Sphinx? Nah, no thank you. And mummies.
Nope.
Nah. Alright, now we're really in the thinker mode. So we have seen all of the earth tiles, all the volcano tiles. We have seen Northwest and Marsh, but not Marsh locked. We have seen Toph. We have very few tiles left.
I was gonna say, is Marsh locked a different tile than Marsh?
It is. There's, I believe, 2 additional tiles down there. And notably, we have not seen any of Sharknado Floor, which we now have access to for our runners through that Oxyale. And that is a dangerous, dangerous game, as Phoenix will tell you. But sometimes it's the gambits that pay off. Sometimes they fail spectacularly. Sometimes gambits pay off.
Budgemano did ice, right?
Yes. Budge has the regular ship in addition to the trash. Now, the only thing that could possibly benefit Not Young Me here is if the eye tile is in fact the eye tile or an Agama tile or something like that. That's the only thing to gain here. So he's almost assuredly going to check exclusively the tiles.
Unless Not Young Me chooses to just take the zombie D tile.
And that is a real possibility once the zombie D tile is seen. So we haven't seen the vanilla eye tile, but that's very easily warp check, right? And when you warp check it, you can do that in a way that you check the 2 on that floor, and then you walk around on the ice lava a little bit, then heal your black belt back up, and you're ready to go. So we're at this point checking to see our viability on this zombie D tile. And I mean, the answer is yes.
Yeah, the answer is yes, it is absolutely viable.
All right, Budge checks the tile, sees the water, determines his course of action. The zombie D might just be fine. Like, you might not even need to do the teleport down thing. You might just need to move your black belt out of that slot. And
Well, yeah. I've used the zombie D as a grind tile before and made it work.
Yep. The key here is that the black belt actually has to live.
Yep, there we go.
Yeah. All right. This is a good plan.
Yeah, this is a valid plan.
All right. So Budge seems to be taking this water.
Waters.
Now, all right.
Because black shirt is ice too.
Yep, that makes sense. As long as they go down in a timely fashion. But this is also dangerous because they hit so hard.
Yeah, they hit so hard. They hit like trucks.
Oh. Alright. Notyoungme is realizing the black belt isn't adequately powered up yet to skip out on the nuke cast, so that he needs a little bit more gas in the tank before he can actually punch these down. But we're also running low on nuke charges. We're running out of Black Wizard. But this is the point right here where it gets better.
This is fine.
Now, if we're here and we can just make this work for like 4 more levels, we'll have the punching power to probably take these out right away. We've got our 6 hits.
Yes.
We just need our actual attack stat from levels. Because right now we're 2 rounding, and against the double pack, that's still actually enough to kill you. Alright. We're healing. We're healing.
That's a dangerous... This is a dangerous game from budgemano with these waters.
It is. Again, I understand the play, and it's...
And now notyoungme is one-shotting now. So the grind is on.
Yeah, these zombie Ds are adequate. Sometimes you're not looking for the best, you're just looking for good enough.
Yeah, you're not always looking for the best grind, you're looking for the best grind that you can easily find.
Yep.
So while our 2 runners are doing their grind, I would like to plug the Final Fantasy Randomizer Discord. We have a great community. We have an absolutely great community for Final Fantasy 1 Randomizer. We have the Duckling program that I know is near and dear to my broadcast partner's heart.
It's true, because I run it.
That is where we invite we have new runners and the experienced new runners like me, and the experienced runners like my broadcast partner Saracen will basically teach you how to beat them.
We like competition around here. We like to foster it. And, Caleb likes to say, we call it the Duckling program, because they're just getting their feet wet. So, come on down, join the Duckling program when we get our next class up. If you are interested in taking a look before we get our next round of the boot camp going, we have all of the last boot camp fully documented in the wiki at finalfantasyrandomizer.com.
I believe, isn't Budgemano a former Duckling Supreme?
I think you're right. It's hard to remember. They blend together after a while. No, I'm pretty sure you're right. All right, Budge is given up on the waters. And
now we know Budge has seen the zombie D tile.
Yeah. So I think the play here is to check those two at the bottom and finish out the dungeon and get an orb on the board.
Yeah.
36 minutes, you're feeling it in these flags. We've seen as low as oh geez, the cockatrices have Blizzard and Lit 2 to open. Whoo!
Jerk birds.
For real. And X-Fur. Oh, make that ribbon not do a thing.
Here's their daisy.
So the long con on this one was, hey, find that grind, huh? Right? Like the zombie D being the best thing we found is actually super disheartening in this flag set.
Yeah, not gonna disagree there, Saracen.
Saracen
comes up with some very interesting weekly duckling seeds too.
I give it a shot.
Budgemano looks and sees that lukewarm garbage tile for the Earth Elemental.
Yeah, I just saw Glance, and I didn't see which of those wolves had it, but it was not appreciated. Notyoungme, done. We're out of here. Watch those sorcerers run away from us, too.
Yeah, that's 42, I believe.
Should be.
I did not look at the Blursings.
Neither did I. So, if Notyoungme left at 41, there's just the expectation that he's going to pick up a level somewhere. And that's fine. That's a totally reasonable play. When you've got Sea Shrine and Volcano in front of you still, totally get it. The menuing is too fast for me to see numbers. That white mage must have a vitality bonus because it's over 400 hit points at level 22 or something.
Yeah, it's gotta have vitality bonus.
Maybe just a flat HP. I don't know, something, because it's theoretically nuke safe and not clearly Earth Cave safe. Oh, this seed. The long con is real, I tell you.
Meanwhile, Notyoungme just walking through everything. Just walking through all of the lava tiles.
All right, it's time to hope that the Black Knight is kind to you, and so far so good. Miss a stun, hit for practically nothing. There's a nice 2 for nothing. This is an equipped Black Mage. It has an Opal -1 and a Ribbon +1, so it's not like helpless.
Yeah, and there goes Echidna. There goes Black Knight.
Yep.
That is 2 orbs for Notyoungme and 1 for Budgemano.
With the substantial advantage of one of these runners has a grind completed, and the other is probably screaming internally. This is absolutely not the kind of seed that you want to feel the pain on at this point.
No, it's not.
But we were seeing dueling on racks here, as Notyoungme and Budgemano working their way through Budge getting the revive, heading on in. Not Youngme first through the submarine.
And I think Budge is going to check grind tiles.
I 100% believe you. Now, one thing that I'll say is it would be super nice, and probably not in the cards, if that white mage could get bracked. And then you find a grind, and you do the grind, and then you're like, well, I have a soft, and this white mage is now active. That is one of the things that I treasure most in these seeds, is when something casts brack on a character that's not my black belt.
Yes.
And then I lug around a statue until we're done, and we have a good time.
And then we have our grind. Then we have a character back.
Yeah. Like, I don't even care if it's the thief that gets the bracket. That's actually, like, the easiest way to get the thief out is insta-deaths. But, anything that sets them up for later so that you can feel enabled to do a grind in a place like C.
Yeah.
And just the straight left walk. And hopefully pass these ghosts, so geez. Whoo, boy.
And we have an Ifrit for Kraken.
Excuse me, sir. The stop lands on the black belt, but not the thief.
Oh.
We got metal slimes. Oh, they have damage poison. Abort! Abort! They lived through the fade.
Now we're seeing the Danny seed come back.
Okay, so Not Youngme hits 42, loses almost everything on this dive. We're healing up to almost 400 to get just to the orb, and now we're out. We've lit our 3 orbs. We're ready to go to Toph. We're gonna pick our people up with a spatula. Budge is still checking tiles because he's gotta.
Yeah, he has to at this point.
Yeah, and you almost have to wonder where the real grinds are. Like, is it that one tile in Sky? Blue D is my least favorite D. It has Blaze. Abort!
Yeah, abort all the grind. Yeah, I mean, Zombie D was probably the grind.
We're going with Blue Ds. And they are scary. But you know what? That just died in one round. And as the levels come in, it's not that bad. So for budgemano to catch up, we're going to have to see an absolutely ridiculous Topher.
Yeah, we're going to have to see garbage alternate final boss.
And if we see something like Double Dragons or Whack-A-Garland, it's like free win. And it's the Sahagin Wagon, which is one of the challenging ones in many regards. Now, the nuke should take out most of these Sahagin, and it does. Yeah. There's just one left. That is one of the Ifrits down right away. That's huge. That's the other one. Wow. GG Not Youngme, finishing with an official time of 45 minutes and 10 seconds.
Yowza.
See the brief pause of budgemano, recognizing in the chat from the race room what has happened here.
I would not be shocked if budgemano wipes, if he just forfeits.
Yeah, and I mean, there's the
There's no shame in that.
right. We shall see what happens there. Now we're checking to see if notyoungme can join us for an interview. Has joined the setup room, so give him a second to, wash his hands of the seat a little bit. Make sure the audio is working, and then have him jump on up. For Budge, the grind continues, and these blue Ds are that 32. That they're gonna consistently die.
There's the break point.
Yeah. So we're up to 8 potential hits, and smash. Every level is just a little bit more ramping, a little bit more ramping. You hit a break point, and it's just to the moon. So
yeah. And the punch mage goes berg. These blue Ds are dodgy, though.
A bit, but I mean, at this point, there's enough hits.
Well, like that previous fight, he went 2 rounds because the first time he only got 3 hits.
Yeah. Now, the dangerous game truly is sitting there on 98 hit points, not healing up yet. Like, that dragon could just chomp you.
Yeah, it could.
It's like he heard me 10 minutes ago. Hey, Budge. I see you in chat. The tilt strats are real, I know.
Yeah, it is a thing. I'd be lying if I said I hadn't been there.
I mean, the real tilt strats are the Sharknado grinds. Oh, hi, notyoungme. By all means, jump on up into the booth when you're ready. I see you in the setup room there. And that is the official forfeit from Budge. Having decided, maybe let's just get in the booth.
This was a very interesting race. This was not the typical GG to you, Budge. GG to you, notyoungme.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. GG to Budge as well.
Yeah, GG's. So, the tale of any Danny seed is what is the horrible thing that has been inflicted upon you. And this one was, hey, where's my grind, yo?
It was such a pretty seed outside of that. I mean, everything was set up. Early floater, nothing crazy with spells, and then just could not find a grind.
I was a little surprised, budgemano, that you didn't take that zombie D grind in ice when you found it.
Yeah, no, I mean that was a big mistake. I clearly should have done that. I thought, I had. Which tile was that on?
Mage.
The terrible one.
Yeah, so I think that was the first one I checked in ice then. So I was like, all right, there's like 4 more here. I hadn't been to volcano. Zombie Ds are, they're fine grind, but I mean, they would have been a great grind in this seed, but usually there's something better out there. But, it turns out there wasn't. I tried to make those waters and Toflocked work, but they had so much HP and were just murdering me. And so, yeah, I mean, everything was going well until, Volcano kind of blew up in my face, and then I started spiraling at that point, so.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the 1 to 2 zombie D tile is one that when I find it, if I find it, I'll take it.
It's one of those adequates.
It's good enough.
Yeah, that was good enough. Should have been the best grind is the one you find, right? So that's probably the difference there. I was greedy, looking for something better. I wasn't so high. I mean, I had Fade, I guess, but the black shirt wasn't going to do anything on them. So
I got knocked out of winter tournament because I went looking for something better and didn't take the grind I found.
So
I certainly have never gone to ice with looking for a grind before, so that was a first for me. But I'm like, well, I know there's a bunch of spike tiles here. I'm sick of looking around. I certainly too long of a run off the hard reset, so an overworld grind isn't possible.
the funny thing about the ice play, and I think that this is Budge why you didn't take it, is that you had gone to ice early looking for an incentive and pulled out that ship. That has got to be a feels bad there.
Yeah, seeing the ship was just like, oh, whatever. I was halfway there. I mean, partly I was there looking for grinds. I knew I still needed items for my go mode, so the incentive was part of the play, but that is disappointing when you get the ship when you already have the floater.
Yeah.
Big womp.
So
Budge, I'm surprised you didn't take the black belt. I know Nuke and Fade were both level 1, so it didn't really matter, but I'm surprised that I saw you with the white mage, or not black belt, the black mage.
I actually never checked a single black magic shop. I saw Fade level 1, and I don't need faster temper when you get to level 42, so I was just like, all right, I'm going 3-man. Black mage is just another person to kill at some point, so.
Yeah, I get that for sure. I mean, had I not checked level 1, I obviously would have just kept Fade. And honestly, it usually is enough just to take out some of the end fiends too.
I mean, if I had Nuke, I didn't even know Nuke was level 1, but that might have saved my first volcano wipe, assuming the black mage was alive at the time. But yeah, since deads don't gain experience and nuns don't gain experience, I went 3-man there. I'm happy with that play. I think. Obviously the mistake in hindsight was not taking that zombie D grind. I think there was just nothing else. I got that blue D on Sharknado, but
Budge, did you find a life spell?
I did, yeah. I had life, I had cure 4, fade, and I had all the white magic I could possibly want. The white mage was actually pretty good in this scene.
That poor thief, as we're watching your Topher dive here.
He just gets destroyed every time. It's funny.
So, Sahagenwagon.
Just say no to crack, boys and girls.
How did we feel about that Sahagenwagon? It seemed skinny. Is that fair?
Yeah, I was happy to see that. I certainly didn't want to see some War Max. So actually, that was the first time I'd really seen that pack. But I figured that it was kind of like a Garland type thing. So I was certainly happy to see that, especially with Nuke, level 1. That was completely fine.
Wow!
Yeah, as long as I got the it's dirt right away. Yeah, with Fade, these ones are pretty easy. You get a Fiend 1, Black Belt mows that down, and so yeah, this is no issues.
But you need to watch it back. I don't know if you saw, but going into Sea Shrine, I luckily got out of there. My black belt was stunned for the entire round. Finally got killed everyone else out, and black belt was down to 116 health. Revived right before it, and I got turn order and took him down. So it could have been a disaster right there. I was sweating. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
C is scary. Yeah. Even with the 42 black belt, C is scary.
Whoa.
You've got to be kidding. The 42 black belt with all the MDef gets hit with stun, and the thief and the black wizard don't.
Yep.
It's rough. So, looking at our upcoming brackets, hi, notyoungme. We need to talk scheduling at some point. As you're going to be going up against me. Hey, I'm looking forward to it.
No, I've seen you race Saracen. I'll just forfeit. GG.
You don't got to go easy on me. It's all right.
No,
I got old man hands over here.
No, I'm looking forward to it. I'll shoot you a DM right after this.
Rock on. And Budge, you are going to be going up in the lower bracket against the winner of Phoenix versus Min. How you feel about that?
It's this whole tournament's just a murderer's row, right? I mean, there's not going to be any gimmies in the whole field, so we'll see what happens. I don't know when Phoenix and Min have anything scheduled, but happy to get another race out of the tourney.
Rock on. DM, you have any questions for our runners?
No, nothing comes to mind. Maybe what grinds were you looking for, Budge?
That's a good question. I mean, obviously the Agama. I don't know. That's maybe I had my sights set too high, because with Fade, I saw the slimes. If I had Nuke, that could have been a good start. The zombie Ds are more and more I think about it. Should have taken it, but what it is what it is.
All right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
When I saw the zombie Ds, I mean, obviously there were a few more grind tiles in there. When I saw that, obviously that was late in the game. I was just like, I'm taking this. I'm not going down another floor to hunt it down. I was like, I just have to. It's certainly, I don't blame Budge for skipping over it. You got the rest of the seed. He probably found it, 5 minutes in? And he's like,
I've got the
rest
of that. But yeah, it was early.
Yeah.
I had a lot of checks still. But
It was pre-ordeals.
Pre-ordeals, pre-volcano.
And I think, notyoungme, you found the zombie D to be quite skinny when you saw it in ordeals. So, that little bit of information helps too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, I don't have any other questions for our runners.
All right. Well, should we head on into final thoughts then? We'll start with notyoungme, our victor tonight.
Yeah. Well, thanks. Again, GG to budgemano. He's one of the best racers around. So, that's why it's a randomizer. Anyone can kind of win if they find the right thing, or just get a lucky guess. So 9 times out of 10, Budge will beat me. I just happen to get him tonight. So GG, I fully expect to see him do some damage down in the lower bracket and come back up top. So I'm excited for that. And then DM Stewart and Saracen, thanks again for doing comms. I didn't see who was tracking, so apologies for tracking and helping out with the stream. But thank you to everyone. It's good to be back racing. I took about a year and a half off, so I'm excited to get back into FFR. So thanks again, everyone.
Absolutely. And that is Socket who was handling the tracking tonight. So, big thanks to Socket there.
Yeah, thank you, Socket.
budgemano, final thoughts.
Yeah, GG to notyoungme. Also, I think 9 out of 10 is quite generous. You're definitely a very good racer, and I didn't pencil this in as a W by any stretch. Thanks for Saracen, you DM, comment the matches, and everybody behind the scenes making it happen. It's a fun tournament. Looking forward to another race and watching more of these.
Rock on. DM Stewart, my co-coms tonight. How about you? Final thoughts.
Well, as you said during the race, we were waiting to see where the daddy seed was going to crop up. Thanks to the runners, because without you letting us restream you, then we don't really have anything to do. Thanks to Socket on tracking. Thanks to the Speed Gaming community for putting this on and letting us use your channel for a while. Join the FFR community. Join the Discord. But when next Duckling Derby should be late
Springtime.
fall?
Springtime.
Springtime.
We're just doing one this year.
Okay. Next Duckling Derby will be coming around in the spring. We've got the traditional winter double ante bingo, fall league coming up, and that's always an interesting run. We've got lots of tournaments, lots of people racing every day. It's a great community. Come on in. we'll all help you. We'll help you learn how to beat it. We'll help you learn how to beat the great runners like Budgemano and notyoungme.
That's a pretty low bar.
Yeah, certainly. If you like what you saw, definitely join the Discord, join the community, and come check everything out. If you are interested in seeing more of the matches of the Speed Gaming Online Tournament, you can look in the race announcements channel of the Discord. If you set the spectator role, you'll get a ping every time we put up one of the races, giving you the location of the restream as well as some information about the runners. You can peek into the race room if you want to see things 10 minutes in the future. But certainly if you like what you saw, come hang out. We're a friendly community because the game is not friendly sometimes, as you saw tonight at certain parts. And with that, thank you so much for joining us. Again, thank you DM Stewart for the co-com, Socket for the tracking, Speed Gaming for giving us a platform to be here, and budgemano and notyoungme for running a fantastic race. If you have not followed the runners yet, please do so. And with that, have a fabulous night, everybody.